in Indonesia, about to fire into life. All 30 minutes plus 2 laps of it. Gauge drop here. Bit of bar banging between Fevre and... Oh, and Fevre twice. He tagged Fernandez on the exit of the turn. Holding off with a foxhole shot, though. But he runs wide, and it's Prado who sneaks up the inside. So Koldenhoff for the 3rd time this year. But first and second in race 1, first and second at the start of race 2. Prado and Fevre as they lead Fernandez and Koldenhoff, who looks to go around the outside of the Spaniard here on this opening lap and takes 3rd position away from the number 70. Just runs into trouble, though, and so too does Fevre. Goes from 2nd to 4th as Fernandez and Koldenhoff go by. But Fevre, though, jumps past the Dutchman as he triples his way into turn 7. Fevre over on the right-hand side in green. Just behind these two, you've got the 91 of Siwa. And Fevre looking to get up the inside of Fernandez here at this tight right turn 10, and he just shows him a wheel. Struggling to get the tear off the goggle there, though. Seat bounces his way up onto the plateau. Fernandez in 2nd, a Spain 1-2 on this opening lap. Siwa there in 5th, Guillot in 6th, the Landron in 7th. Circuit not at its roughest, because that will be in about 30 minutes from now, but certainly the roughest they've had it all weekend long on this opening lap. Fevre alongside. Can he bully Fernandez? Not from the outside, he won't. And he'll be keen to get his way past the Spaniard ASAP, because he cannot afford Prado to command the pace of this race. Siwa and Koldenhoff. Siwa, did he get the better of his teammate there, yes or no? No, he didn't, not quite. He's still there in 5th place, just behind Koldenhoff. Fevre has found his way past Fernandez, though. Moves into 2nd position. Eyes locked and loaded on the 61 ahead of him. Prado, a 3-time winner in Indonesia. Can he make it for Romain Fevre? He's never won in Indonesia. Can he make it? Oh, sorry, he won last weekend in Indonesia. Can he make it too? Nicely done through the waves. There's a bit of cat and mouse going on between these two at the moment in the opening stage of this race. 2 Yamahas there in the background. The Honda of Guillot there as well. Up onto the plateau. Koldenhoff gets alongside Fernandez. Not close enough to make the move stick, though, in that left-hander. All of a sudden, Fevre all over the back of Prado in this right turn a moment ago. Nothing in it between those two. Half a second at the last split. And you see he's already trying to find his way past as they drop through here, this left-hander out of sight. Great battle going on for the lead. Oh, hello. Let's join it, shall we? Fevre looks to go around the outside, and he's alongside Prado. Will he cut to the inside as they rejoin the track? Well, not like that, he won't. And runs into trouble, just pulls back on in front of Fernandez, and let off for Prado. Prado's lap of 1:58.5, Fevre 1:57.4. He's got all that work to do again. He was just teeing himself up nicely to land over on the left-hand side, up back to the inside, and who knows, maybe even repeat the move that was put on him in the first race. Back end lighting up low on the Kawasaki as he comes out of turn 5, sweeps through turn 6. Not wasting any time getting back on terms with Prado, though, is he? Fevre. Is he being lured into a false sense of security again, though? Because Febvre ran away with it initially. A mistake there at the end of the wave. Prado, all of a sudden, he's back under pressure. Comes up a little bit short on the plateau. Oh, Febvre comes down the inside, takes the lead away. Was the door left open deliberately, though? Are we going to see these two? A little bit of cat and mouse there. Well, there's a little payback. Febvre obviously feeling that he was hard done by in race one. Dishing it back out to the number 61. Guess this one's not done yet either. Round the outside, though, Prado saying, not hanging around for that. I'm just going to get on with my race. So if Prado was hanging around to think, you know what, I'm just going to bide my time, save some energy, do what I did in race one, where I were strike at the end of the race to take the win. He's now being put under pressure here from Febvre, who's now forcing Prado to up the pace here. Cut back in turn one, on the horizon here, yes or no? Not quite. Wasn't able to make the move there. Prado and Febvre fighting over the lead here on lap 3. Yeah, 15 laps, breathe. You're going to need to breathe. 15 to go. Follows him in. Cuts out of there early. Looking for any smooth line on the racetrack now. As he prepares to launch the triple over on the far side of the circuit. These two breaking free of Fernandez. 2.5 seconds back now, the Spaniard, who still has Koldenoff and Siwa for close company just over there, top right corner of your screen. It's where Prado made a mistake a lap ago on this part of the racetrack. Doesn't look so confident around there this time around either. Right, Febvre knows that the line goes from left to right. Decides not to make an attempt there, but he might make one here. Cuts back to the inside. Repeat move, not quite, from a lap ago. In and out early, while Prado trying to second-guess everything that Febvre is doing. Closes down the attack again. Squeezes him to the inside. A little bit of gamesmanship, or just silly buggers between these two. Soon find out. Remember the tears moment we had last year, or a couple of years ago? Will there be another one of those? Round the outside, Febvre gets the better drive, takes over the lead at the end of lap 2, at the end of lap 3. So Febvre leads again. Meanwhile, Fernandez, Koldenoff, Siwa. Look over the shoulder then from Prado. Has he decided already that he's not going to take the battle to Romain Febvre? Just wants to keep an eye on what's going on behind him. Meanwhile, Koldenoff eyeing up Fernandez here. Tries to get to the inside of him. He's going to have to go down the inside here in turn 5. That's exactly what he does. The Yamaha finds his way past the HRC rider. Koldenoff now in the third. Koldenoff will be on the podium as it stands like this. He's on 40 points, 2 third-place finishes. Got about 6 points between Fernandez and Siwa, who are both tied on 34 points as it stands right now. But Koldenoff not done yet. Wants a little bit of tapas. Got a Spaniard in front of him by the name of Jorge Prado. Hungry for more is Koldenoff. Up and down in the qualifying race, 6 down to 12, back to 7. Eventually, hard-fought third place in race 1. Oh, nicely pre-jumping, clearing those ruts there. See, we're getting left behind here at the moment. About 1.2 behind Fernandez. testament to how much different the circuit conditions are for the riders in terms of what they're feeling compared to race one. It was a lot drier in that first race. It was watered before the start of MX2 race 2. We had a big downpour during that second MX2 race as well. So are they just still struggling to find where it's grippy, where it's not? Maybe Prado not prepared to take that risk at the moment. One rider who isn't afraid to take the risk is Romain Febvre, 1:55.8, fastest lap of the race, almost 4 seconds clear. Prado in the 59s, Koldenhoff 57.08. Like his teammate, 57.2. Fernandez, 59.3. Track is now chasing the dirt around the outside. Trials riding going on there on the inside. Clean so far, no dabs. Koldenhoff chasing the dirt. Trinity Yamaha rider continues to pursue the Red Bull Gas. Jorge Prado in that second place, nicely picks up the front end, just gets a bit of a kick. One of those edges. But with the humidity, not as hot as it was on Friday. Yesterday was nice and cool as well. The humidity is what's getting the riders here, so they're obviously just maybe having a breather at the moment. Guillaume under attack from Valandren. These two fighting over 6th place. Wings stay as they are. Guillaume will finish 6th overall for the second time this year. Valandren looking to take that 6 away from him though, because he's just 2 points behind. Valentin Guillaume. Needs another rider ahead of him though to be able to do that. Febvre and Prado still 4.2 seconds apart at the moment. 57.5, 57.8, so another 2 or 3 tenths gain by the Frenchman. With these two, nothing in it between Guillaume and Valandren as they argue over that 6th place. We're about 8.5 seconds down on Siwa, who's in 5th. Siwa still making no significant ground on Fernandez. Is the Hoffo. Is he closer to Prado than he was a lap ago? Yes or no? Still hovering around about 1.6. Asking a little bit too much of the track boundaries and the rear tyre there, though. Koldenhoff. So this was Prado and Febvre as they battled over the lead. That was Febvre looking to make a move and then ran out of real estate. Managed to get back on track just ahead of Fernandez. Then Febvre found his way into the lead. Door was left wide open there. He was expecting it. Prado then decided going to go back after the lead. Ran around the outside. Committed. Retook the lead. And then Febvre got the better drive on the run towards the finish line at the end of lap 3. The Kawasaki man was through. From there, he's managed to sustain a 4.4 second advantage over the 61. 57.5, 58.1, another 5 or 6 tenths gained by Febvre as he increases that lead. Prado knows he can't afford to switch off here. It's Koldenhoff will be there, ready to pounce. So a little bit static here at the moment. No change in the first 4 or 5 positions. Guillaume and Valandren still separated by about 1.5 seconds. Ferrato 5 seconds behind them in 8th. On the SM Action, Yuasa Battery KTM, and we've got Mitch Evans in 9th. He's about 2.5 seconds behind the Italian. And Paturel on the DeBarch Yamaha finds himself in 10th place. He's got about 3.5 seconds over Alvin Osland on the JWR Honda. And then we've got Petrov, who is looking at 12th overall this weekend for AIT Yamaha. Then Rusjorg, Stewart, Murray, Maximin, Karoas. Seems to be fighting the track this time around. Jorge Prado. Just wondering whether he wasn't anticipating the track to change so much. Maybe didn't make any changes in advance, thinking, okay, normally a track will change in a certain way, so you can go a couple of clicks here on the front or rear suspension, or maybe do something else. Just doesn't look as comfortable as he did in race 1. Meanwhile, Fernandez and Siwa, these two have been locked together all weekend long, joined at the hip by a bungee cord. It's Fernandez who has the upper hand at the moment. Left to turn 6, comes into land over the Mont Trinity triple. Just ahead of them, Koldenhoff, about 2.5 seconds further up the field look. If they're just starting to reel in the Hoff. 58.2 Prado, 58.21 Koldenhoff, 58.7, 58.8. Answer there at the moment is no. Camera angles can be deceiving sometimes. Braking bumps are now. So much movement. The lines on the jumps absolutely, or the jump faces absolutely destroyed. Riders really having to think about their lines. This jump here, not so bad, but the other ones had those tight little lefts over on the far side of the circuit. 8 laps complete. See, we're getting closer to Fernandez all of a sudden. About a second between them. Siwa in his 180th Grand Prix start. Seamus on the board, just telling him to look forward and focus. Just having to think outside the box. A little bit smoother on the exit there. Can't go too high in that turn. That line is what caught out Fernandez in race 1, that allowed Siwa to nip up the inside of him. But he is gaining ground, starting to apply the pressure to Ruben Fernandez. Here's Jeremy Siwa. About 15 metres between the two doubles when you double on. Up on the pegs. Absolutely essential out of that turn, because you just hit a whole load of square edge bumps. You can see how choppy it is now. Nicely done. Wheeling, standing up, letting the suspension load itself up just to give you that elevation to get over the double coming out of that turn. Nice little technique there from both these guys. 9 laps in the books now. Right, is he getting ready to make a move? He runs into the rear wheel, almost has to pull out. Does Jeremy Seewer. Maybe he'll square off or go the long way round here. Well, Fernandez will know he was there. Seewer's going to have to run it down the inside, but there's a single to the inside here. Will he lose drive? Yes, he does. Fernandez hanging on to 4th position for now. Seewer goes again. He rehearsed this line a lap ago, smooth on the exit. And he'll cut to the inside here if he can, but Fernandez keeps him to the outside. He may run out of track here. Oh, he does. Runs wide. We saw that in MX2, race 2. I'm not a good lip reader, but I'm sure there were no pleasantries there down in pit lane. You can see from the body language, as soon as he took off, he was heading for trouble. He's now got to do all that work again, Jeremy Seewer. It is over on this side of the racetrack, the right side of that line, the right side of the track. Meanwhile, Prado still hands full of the Hoff. Koldenhoff eyeing up a podium, his 3rd podium of the campaign. Eight-tenths behind the Red Bull Gas rider now. Glenn Koldenhoff messes up on the exit of the final turn, though, back onto the start straight. Gives a little bit more breathing space to Prado. Meanwhile, Febvre 4.3 seconds clear. We've got 8 minutes plus 2 laps to go. 59.8, 59.4, Febvre and Prado respectively. And with Koldenhoff just losing a little bit of momentum coming out of that turn, is there going to be a case of deja vu here between 1st and 2nd in the race? Remember, Febvre led until 2 laps to go. Prado looked like he was just riding lazily, if you like, just sitting back and letting it all happen ahead of him. Then he pulled the trigger, closed down Febvre, and struck with 2 to go to win his 9th race of the season. Are we going to see something similar here? 7.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Pulls a tenth back in sector 1. Loses a couple tenths in sector 2. Koldenhoff has lost a bunch of time this time around. He's now 2.4 seconds adrift. Seewer a little bit loose on the exit of the turn there. Coming in hot though is the 91. Gets in and out of that turn early. Again, smoother transition along the next straight. Back end's dancing around violently, and you see it there from Fernandez. He came out of that turn as well. Good job he was up on the pegs though. Good job he didn't catch any more edges either. All of a sudden, 3.3 now the gap between Febvre and Prado. So Prado is looking to do what he did in race 1. Has he left it too late though? 58.7, 57.9, the gap 3.5 between 1st and 2nd. Koldenhoff on his own now, 3 seconds adrift. He's got about 4 seconds over these two, Fernandez and Seewer, who are drawn back together again. How many times have these two found themselves in the heat of battle this weekend? It's that same old thing, isn't it? You may be quicker, you may be stronger. One thing getting onto the rear wheel of the rider ahead of you, but on a track as unpredictable as this, it's another thing entirely, trying to find a way past. You're relying on a mistake, just one moment. Fernandez choosing to sit down through those two rollers. Right, Siwa just a little bit offline. Doubles on, doubles off. Can he get in and out of here early? Yes, he can. Fernandez knows he's there, though. And Siwa does put the squeeze on him. Fernandez will ride right back, feet off the pegs, though, as he barges his way back down the inside of Siwa. Fernandez still fourth. Apparently they enjoyed their little battle yesterday in qualifying. Watch this. Just left the door open, should have gone for broke and held that tight line, knowing that Fernandez was going to come back by. That's exactly what he did. Has it all to do again then. And just as we thought, as Febvre was being caught by Prado, guess what? The gap goes out to another 4.1 seconds. 58.8, 59.4. A brief response from Febvre. 4 minutes plus 2 to go. MXGP race 2 here in Lombok, round 11. Yeah, no games, pass and go. Big kahunas. Yeah, he'll watch it back and he'll look at it again and say, look, left the door open, should have just been more aggressive, closed down the door. And Fernandez now looking defensive. This time, Siwa gets the better drive. Can he cut back to the inside? Well, he doesn't need to, because he's 3 or 4 bike lengths clear by the time he hits the landing zone through turn 7. Siwa now up in the 4th place. That'll give him 4th overall in the Grand Prix as well. On 36 points. His teammate just ahead of him. That'll change the podium, though, if he can find his way past the Hoff. Keep an eye on those gaps then, this time around. Because Coldenhoff, sector 1, 30.4, 30.3 Siwa, 26.1, 25.8 Siwa. And Siwa will see that he's gaining 35.5, 34.9. The gap is coming down between 3rd and 4th, and that will determine the outcome of the podium as well, the 3rd step. Rule number 1, beat your teammate. No one wants to be knocked off the podium in the closing stage of the race, especially if it's your teammate as well. 2.5 the gap between them, and a nervous look over the shoulder there from Coldenhoff as the gap comes down to 2.4 seconds, a 59.4 and a 58.3 for the Hoff and Siwa, who now, having cleared Fernandez, has pulled 6 seconds on the number 17 for teammate Jarcy, able to get on. See it there, look, they'll finish on 38 apiece, but it'll be Siwa who mounts the 3rd step of the podium at the expense of his teammate if he finds his way past the Dutchman. He's got just under 2 minutes plus 2 laps. Back markers, well, I say coming thick and fast, there aren't that many of them on the track, to be fair. Can the Hoff hold on for his 3rd podium of the season? Teammates charging, isn't he? Whittling down that gap, 1.2 now. But you don't need me to tell you that. It's a visual. Both riders in the same frame. So Coldenhoff is going to have to dig extra deep here now, because they are, what, 7, 8 seconds behind. Right, this is Hoff. Trying to lean across. Goes around the outside. Pulls the foxhole shot there. So the Hoff for the 3rd time this year. He'll be more interested in the 3rd step of the podium, though. It's going to be 3 laps to go. 3 long laps for the Hoff. He's going to be in a fight to keep his teammate at bay. Was there a swift recovery? 59.5, 58.6. The answer is no. Seawer continues to close down the gap. Febvre managing the gap at the head of the field. 4.6 over Prado. Koldenhoff, 1.5 over Seawer. Fernandez out on his own, 10.5 seconds further back. But he has 11, 12 seconds over Guillot in 6th place. Seawer just pushing his luck a little bit. Wasn't something and nothing. Coming into land. Hardy Ruziorg holding a tight line as he gets lapped here in 14th place for JWR Honda. Not so hot, but still humid. Real physical element to this racetrack. Choppy as well. And a fast, choppy circuit with these kind of conditions. May affect some riders more than others. Prado couldn't hold that inside line. Maybe it was intentional, but if it was, he would have hit a whole load of holes on the exit, and that would allow Koldenhoff to close back in on him. Almost identical sector times. All the way through, sectors 1, 2, and 3. The gap maintained, 2.3 seconds. Well, where'd you put your money between these three? Talking of number 3. Romain Febvre into the penultimate lap. Kawasaki Racing Team, MXGP, a time 2:09, 2:07 for Prado, 2:03 Koldenhoff, 2:01 Seawer. 7.4 seconds separate the top 4. But, 3 seconds separating the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th? Will there be heartbreak for Koldenhoff or joy for Seawer in that chase for the 3rd step of the podium? Will it stay as it is? Yeah, looking for those lines now, realising the throttle has to work both ways. If you try to rail the outside in that tight right a moment ago and you hit all those edges and change direction, there may be consequences. So, how do you get around that? Change the angle that you go into and come out of the turns. Exit where it's a little bit smoother, perhaps. And straighten up there as well, so you can carry more speed. As we saw Koldenhoff do compared to Prado. And the Hoff is gaining a little bit of ground here. Maybe getting second wind just as he needs it. The 2.59. Inching closer as we head into the final lap. Febvre heading in the opposite direction out of this turn. Already in the final turn, this long sweeping right. One lap board goes out to Febvre. Maintains a 2-minute lap time, 0.6. 59.3 though for Prado as he feels the heat from behind with Koldenhoff breathing down his exhaust pipe. Seawer 1.6 seconds further back. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there as we head in to this final lap. Your leader just heading out of sight in the opposite direction in green. Good drive into turn 3 for Koldenhoff. A little bit smoother past pit lane for him. Prado just getting hung up there mid-corner. That's the Yamaha man just to gain a little bit more ground. Again, different line through there. Prado possibly with a slight advantage. Seawer really gunning for his teammate now though on this final lap. Seawer finds his way past. He is on the podium. He is going all out. I'm sure both riders would have had the message from their respective crews. All of a sudden, it's Koldenhoff is on the ropes. He runs offline. He's going to go single to protect the inside. Siwa will be to his outside, and he'll try and get in and out of this turn early. Wow, absolutely on the ropes now is Koldenhoff. Again, he has to go defensive here. This is playing into the hands of Siwa. Oh, until that moment there. Lights at the back end, loses 3 or 4 bike lengths. That may be the let-off Koldenhoff needed. You can't knock the effort from Siwa. Spent an absolute eternity behind Ruben Fernandez. Got himself onto the rear wheel, had a breather, went again on the final lap. But Roman Fevre makes it back-to-back wins here in Indonesia. He wins Sumbawa, he wins here in Lombok. Prado crossed the line second, Koldenhoff third, Siwa fourth. And that's how they finish overall. But it's Fevre who will stand on the top step of the podium.